Nice, relaxed, chill time at home. Doggy's just chilling. Right, doggo? Right? You want to say hi? Want to say hi? No? Alright. No? Okay. What's going on, people? Alright. So today, figured it's lazy Sunday. I'm going to get started cooking, and I figured I'd share with you what I'm going to cook. Because when we're streaming, I always tell you guys about my mac and cheese. I'm going to show you how I make my mac and cheese. Yes. Now you can yourself do it. Alright? So, I'm going to cut it here. It's really easy. So, once I'm ready to mix everything together, I'll be happy to share it. Alright guys, here we are. So the pasta is done. Alright, now you're going to need 2 hands to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you know what it is I'm going to be doing. So I got the cooking pot over here. This is where I boiled it. Not done yet. Okay? What I do in my next step is I take a whole stick of butter. That's right. A whole stick of butter. This is why I make this like once every month, once every 2 months. Right? We melt that in. Right? Then we put the pasta right there. And we put that back in the pot, start mixing that together. Then we crack open 2 cans of condensed cheddar. Okay. Now I have 2 versions of this. I do the traditional roux, which is flour, butter, and then the cheese, and mix it up. But I usually have to speed things up. So I usually skip the roux. I go this route. And then once I put that in there, I start mixing it with the pasta. I mix it with the butter. And as it's staying warm, because I do keep the heater on low, then I start pouring in a little bit of milk, and then I start putting in shredded cheese. Now, there's an additional way to go. You could either continue to cook it like that and then serve it, or you can stop halfway. I'm adding the butter now, as you can see with one hand, because I'm a beast like that. I'm a boss. Or you can go ahead and bake it, which is what I'm going to do today, because my wife and my daughter, who loves my mac and cheese, she likes when I bake it. So what I usually do is once it's nice and melted in there, or at least halfway melted, I put it in a baking dish, and then I take some breadcrumbs, in this case panko. We're going to do a little panko. Take some panko breadcrumbs, and then I top that off. I'm going to show you how I'm doing all of that. As you can see, the butter's melting now. So we will add the pasta, because I can do that with one hand. It's not so hard, right? And you can use any pasta you want. You could use shells. In this case, this is what my daughter likes. You can use regular elbow macaroni. Sorry for the camera. And yeah, and whatever. As long as it's 16 ounces of pasta. 16 ounces of pasta, essentially 1 box. So I put that in. I usually wait until the butter melts and mix it in with the pasta, and then that's when I start adding this. So like I said, I'm going to show you when we get to the end portion. I do have a sous chef with me. Okay, although now she's over with my wife. But my sous chef there, my doggo, we'll show her later. Her contribution is keeping the floor clean, if you know what I mean. So, all right, we'll be back in a few minutes. And here we are, the end result. So, now, if you cook this, you can literally stop right here and just eat it. Seriously. But like I said, I made my pasta a little al dente because I knew I'm putting this in the oven. So, you could either go further, all right, and do what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on a baking pan. Not a baking pan, excuse me. Casserole dish, right? I'm going to top it off with some panko breadcrumbs and put it in the oven for about a half hour. It'll give it a nice crisp top with a gooey middle right here. And it'll finish cooking off the pasta that way. So, as you can see, if I stop doing that, you're going to see it bubble up. Look at that bubbling cheese. All right, don't worry. Just bubble, baby. There it is right there. You see that? Look at that. Look at that starting to bubble right there. Bubbling cheese. All right. So give me another few minutes. I'm going to show you what it looks like right before it goes in the oven, and then show you what else we're working on. All right. Be right back. We're back. So we're going to top the mac and cheese with the breadcrumbs, panko breadcrumbs. Now, the way you do this is make sure you don't just throw the crumbs on there, right? You got to mix it up with melted butter. All right. I don't like to use too much butter, so I use a mix of melted butter and olive oil to kind of moisten it up, and then kind of pour it on top, right? Then I'll start to spread it as I pour it like this. Then I just kind of spread it out, right? Spread it out. Show the love. Then you just go in other areas you might have missed. right? Spread the love. Spread the love. You don't need a whole lot. You really don't. You're just kind of giving it a little bit of crunchiness, a little bit of texture. A little bit of texture. And then that's it. It's topped off. It's ready to go in the oven. I put this in the oven at 350 for about a half hour. Sometimes less. But like I said, that is it. That is one variation of the mac and cheese that I make that I'm always talking to you guys about on stream. But I know what you're wondering. Is that all you're having for dinner? No, it's not. Actually, it's not. Because what we're doing now is we're going to put this in the oven. My lovely wife is going to go ahead and throw that in the oven for me. I'm going to pull up something else. Bam! Chicken thighs. My favorite. Now I know what you're thinking. Like, what are you going to do with this, Rob? Like, what's the deal? Well, I do an assortment of things. Salt. I have the pepper here.
You need that just in case?
Just in case. I'm going to show you guys what we're putting in here and what we're going to do with it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's it. All right. So as you can see, I peel back the skin because what I like to do is I like to make sure everything gets seasoned. Not just the surface, you know. Now, let's not get crazy here. Okay, we got to make sure we cover everything. We don't do things half-assed. All right, so we peel back the skin. All right. And this is what I like to do. I start off with salt. Sprinkle salt all over that, right? I take my pepper. Make sure you flip the side that's sprinkle. A little bit of whoop. Cooperate now, pepper. A little bit of pepper, all right? And throw that in there. Today we're making the chicken spicy. So what I have, red pepper flakes. That's right, we don't play. We do not play games, I'm telling you guys. All right, throw some red pepper flakes in there. I know what you're saying. That's a lot. That's right. Goddamn right, it's a lot. Then, I was telling you guys this about on stream. Red Hot Original Frank's, but the powdered seasoning, and we throw that in there, right? Gives it that nice color. Gives it that buffalo flavor. And what I do here is I get down and dirty with it. I put my hands in there and I start to mix this up. Now I can't do it now because we're recording. But basically, I mix it up with my hands, and then I put another dose of everything and mix it up again. And then I add a little bit of seasoned flour because we're putting this guy in the air fryer to get a nice crunchy texture. And then I'll show you what I do with it at the end. So stick around. All right, guys, and here we are. My chicken is ready. Okay, now, once again, when I cook, everything that I prepare can derive into different things. I could make this chicken in the oven, right? I could take my iron cast pan here, this big one, and I can cook it in there and give it like a nice sear and then put it in the oven to finish cooking it. That can be done in like 15 minutes. I've done that before because once the pan gets nice and hot, you put a chicken in and it sears, and then you put it in the oven at like 500 degrees and let it finish cooking like in 10 minutes, even a little bit less than that. However, today, I'm using my air fryer, which is preheating right now. Now, this chicken, salt, pepper, crushed red pepper, Frank's Red Hot seasoning, the powder, not the liquid, and then a little seasoned flour. Now, you don't want to put a lot of flour in here because you're not frying this in oil. It's being air fried. If you put too much flour, then what happens is you get this whitish coating after it's cooking, and it doesn't give it a good taste. You put a very light coating and mix it around. Like you can see here, it's mixed. And it's going to give it a nice crunchy surface. It's not going to when you're using an air fryer, that's really how you want to do it. You don't want to use a lot of flour. A couple of sprinkles of a spoon. Again, I don't measure. I've been doing this for a long time. But basically take a tablespoon and just sprinkle and then mix with a spoon. Mix it in really good. And as you can see, there's like a little coating here. You can probably see right there. You see that little like reddish coating? That's the flour. And once you put that in the air fryer, that's going to crunch up and it's going to give it a nice crisp taste when it's done. The other thing too is this particular air fryer, the Ninja, I'm going to be putting this in there for 25 minutes at 390 and it'll be done at the same time as my mac and cheese, which is in the oven right now, and then we're good to go. So I'll show you the end results of both the chicken and the mac and cheese once they're both done, and I hope you guys try it one day and let me know how you do. Alright guys, we are back and here you are. Baked macaroni and cheese. You can see it's still bubbling even outside of the oven. Alright, and then the chicken right here. As you can see, that is the chicken all done. Alright, total cooking time to cook this from the time I started to now, which is ready, less than an hour. About 55 minutes. So prep time for the mac and cheese, and then about a half hour in the oven. And while I was cooking that in the oven, 25 minutes at 390 in the air fryer for the thigh. Now the question is, are we going to put Frank's hot sauce in this, or are we going to put the Godzilla hot sauce? I think we'll give the big guy his due on my thighs. Ooh, that sounded fresh. Yeah, baby. Alright, so this is kind of how I do my, you know, like if I make a hot style chicken, like if I make my hot wings and stuff like that, I don't put the sauce on until the very end. So I kind of, you know, dab it in there like so, right? Get it all over the place. Then I take my little bucket here, right? And then I just grab it by the handle over here and I just start tossing it. Kind of gets the sauce all over the place. And then the heat from the chicken will absorb the sauce into it. Then you got a nice spicy coating along with the seasoning I added. Makes for great flavor. Now, I will admit, as I said on my video or on my live stream when I did the taste test, the Godzilla hot sauce in terms of taste is not nearly as good as Frank's, but it is a lot hotter. So these are going to be some hot chicken thighs, but that's what I want. That, mac and cheese, WrestleMania in an hour. I think it's going to be a good Sunday evening. Thanks guys for watching, and if you want more details on this recipe by some crazy miracle, just let me know and I'll share it with you. Take it easy guys. Later.